All right, y'all, welcome to the show. I have quite a wild one for you today. Wait until you hear this first thing I'm about to talk about. It's crazy. So we're going to get into the bridge collapse stuff, Baltimore Bridge. We'll get to the FBI raiding Diddy's various houses. They are looking into him for sex trafficking. Do we have another Epstein-type scenario? I'm going to go into that for you. Then we have a new nightmare story coming out of Gaza, some updates there. Ronna McDaniel hired by NBC, huge backlash, and the fallout. What's happened since then? Some really important updates coming out of there. Then we have RFK makes his VP pick, and pretty much nobody is happy with it. And later on, we have Ben Shapiro is asked by Piers Morgan to comment on the feud with Candace Owens, and Candace Owens either being fired or just leaving the Daily Wire. And his response speaks volumes. You're not going to want to miss that. So everybody do me a big favor. Please subscribe to the channel. All that fun stuff. You know the deal. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So as all of you know by now, like literally all of you know by now, this bridge in Baltimore on I-695, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, collapsed. And it collapsed because a big ship, I mean, it almost sounds messed up to say this, but it kind of is the description of what looks like happened. It kind of gave it a love tap on the side, and it just came down. So here's the video for you. I'll play the video for you, and then I'll tell you an insane story around this. So you can see the ship here. Boom. And then you see some cars are here and going down. So look, I'm not an engineer, needless to say, but man, this looks like a shitty design. I mean, it was 1970s is when it was built, I believe, and it just looks like it's so feeble, right? Like that's really feeble. Now, to be fair, this thing is like millions of tons, this giant ship that hit it. And what happened is there was a power outage in the ship. And so when there's a power outage, you can't really steer it. You're really subject to the whims of the wind, especially going that slow. And it was sort of changing the trajectory of the ship. Now, the ship captain followed all of the protocols leading up to what happened. The ship captain ended up dropping anchors on both sides of the ship. And what happened, well, at least the speculation at this point is that what happened is one of the anchors on one of the sides of the ship hit before the other one. And because of that, it sort of slightly altered the trajectory of the ship. So instead of being able to go under the bridge, past the bridge, it changed the trajectory and it hit this side of the bridge, which was very important, obviously, foundationally for the bridge. And that led to the collapse. Now, I'll probably do a story on this tomorrow. You have like literally 17 different conspiracy theories coming out about what happened here. I'll just tell you guys up front, I think every single one of those conspiracy theories is total bullshit. I mean, as far as the direct evidence goes, I mean, it looks like an accident from a mile away. It doesn't look like it was nefarious intent. It was just a horrible chain of events that led to this. And of course now, there's huge problems because this is a super important, bridge in Baltimore where it allows you to cut across the Baltimore Harbor. And so now the other routes like I-95, the tunnels, they're going to be super backed up, and rush hour is going to be an absolute nightmare over there. Now, to the craziest part of the story. So, as you can tell, I'm in New York right now. I came here a day later than I was originally planning on coming here. So I was going to leave this same day that this bridge collapsed. And I'm not kidding when I say this. That is the bridge I would have been going over if I went with my original plan, which is coming to New York the day before. What happened is I finished my show. It was kind of late. I was going to go, eat with my mom in New York, have dinner with my mom. And I was like, oh, man, it was too late. I didn't feel up to the drive. It's a long drive, obviously, from D.C., which is where I was at the time. I said, let me just sleep, and then tomorrow I'll wake up, and I'll do the drive and eat on the same day, as opposed to coming the night before, staying the night, and then eating the next day. And now, I would have been on the bridge literally the same day that it collapsed. The same day. Now, I don't want to over-dramatize this, because the fact of the matter is, even if I had left the day before, I would have been probably 5 or 6 hours. I would have been over the bridge 5 or 6 hours before this incident and before it collapsed. But still, that's still a crazy-ass thought to me, that I was going to be on that bridge the same fucking day, and then it would have collapsed hours later. That is such a mindfuck. That is such a mindfuck to me. So when I ended up, obviously, coming to New York the day after, I left at a good time where I didn't really have to deal with much traffic, and I took I-95 the entire way. And driving on I-95, which, by the way, is a way I've literally never gone. All 95 from D.C. back to New York, I've literally never done that. But that was the way I had to go, because the bridge I normally take now doesn't exist. But you could see the bridge from I-95. You could see it in the distance. And it looked, I mean, first of all, again, it looks like a feeble toothpick-ass bridge. But you could see the portions that are still standing, and then the area in the middle, which is totally gone. Now, by the way, a number of people lost their lives in this. There's at least, I think, 6 construction workers, they're saying, that passed away. I think there were some other folks in their car. But interesting fact is, as soon as they sent out from the ship the Mayday call, there was a problem, power outage, they sent out the Mayday call. Authorities had literally 2 minutes before what ended up happened. And they were able to slow traffic down to the bridge. They were able to, I guess, stop more traffic from going onto the bridge. And so, the quick reaction time probably saved way more lives. And by the way, imagine this happened at rush hour time. What the death toll would have been. I mean, the death toll is already horrible. But imagine it happened at rush hour time and how many more people would be dead. So just an absolute nightmare. And, there's a lot of chatter now, and engineers are all over the place on Twitter/X talking about it, which is like, how do we engineer bridges to avoid this sort of a disaster? And there's a shockingly simple and straightforward answer. There are these things, I've seen them referred to as dolphins, not dolphin the animal, but it's almost like a steel guard for the parts of the bridge that are structurally important. And so if a ship were to veer off course and hit this guard, it would just hit the guard and sort of bounce off of it. And it wouldn't hit the bridge and then lead to a bridge collapse. And so, I don't know, man. It's just crazy that it's 2024. This bridge, like I said, was built in about the 1970s. And whatever safeguards there were and whatever they thought in terms of safety when they were building it, it's like, that shit wasn't ready at all for prime time. Holy shit. Again, I know the boat is gargantuan, but a little fucking love tap on the side, and then the whole thing just comes tumbling down. Again, here, I'll show it to you. Hits it. It's instantaneous. Boom, boom, just done. So crazy. So crazy. Wow. See, parts are still standing here and here, but the most important part is down. You can't lose any part, right? But that's not even the middle is down. Crazy story. I was supposed to be on that bridge the same day. Not at the same time, to be fair, but the same day. And put it off, and that ended up happening. Woo! Wild stuff, man. Wild, wild stuff. Like I said, I'll do a story tomorrow on all of the various conspiracy theories and the various things people are blaming. And I think it's safe to say now that the internet has absolutely, positively, 100%, without a doubt, rotted so many brains across this country. I don't know if it's just the internet or if it's the internet plus hyper-partisan politics, but the conspiracy theories are perpetually getting dumber and dumber and dumber, and you'll see that demonstrated for you. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.